Alibaba is set to report within the next couple of weeks. And so what I'm going to do in this video is provide you with a preview of what we can expect with Alibaba's results. So guys, year to date, actually, Alibaba hasn't done that bad. You can see that Alibaba is actually up 25% year to date, but that's just because last year it ended the year with a really low share price. It's not like the share price is high right now. We're looking at the $80 per share area. And, I think recently it's gone back into a downward slide while the company has actually been able to execute very well. And so I think what's happening here is that a lot of Alibaba's share price results are going to really depend on how much more disclosure they give us with respect to the restructuring that's happening with the company right now. And speaking of the restructuring, you guys can see that they are actually restructuring into 6 different business units. I've summarized it here for you guys, so you guys can take a screenshot here if you'd like, and I provided just an update on each one. So you can see that with the cloud business, it's going to be an expected stock spinoff within a year. With Taobao and Tmall, that's going to remain with Alibaba, but notice that they're going to IPO Fresh Hippo, which I think is the darling of that business. In fact, there's quite a few darlings in there, and so I think Fresh Hippo, if you're going to cut one of them, that's probably the one that you'd cut, even though I really like it and I'm excited for Fresh Hippo. Local Services Group, they haven't provided us any information. If you guys know anything, let me know in the comments below. In fact, let all of us know in the comments below. Digital, they're investigating, exploring, raising external capital for this, but they haven't provided any other disclosure. With Sinyao, at least they started to, or at least they finally provided us with some disclosure. They said that they expect to spin off the company by way of a global offering, and Alibaba will continue to hold more than 50% of the company. I don't see a situation where Alibaba owns less than 50% of Sinyao, considering that it really supports the Taobao Tmall group and the international group. And so I think that's the only way you can do that. And then with digital media and entertainment, they haven't provided us with any information yet. So that's a quick summary of what's happening with each of the segments or proposed segments that they're going to have post all of these restructurings. And I'll continue updating this chart for you guys as they provide more information. And just a reminder, last quarter was absolutely fantastic. You can see that digital or international digital was up 41%. And then of course, Sinyao and local services group. The local services group would be their equivalent of like Uber Eats and such. That they were both up 30%, and then of course digital media was also up 30%. But what was missing a little bit was cloud is still a little bit slow to uptake. I actually don't think that you're going to have exceptional results in cloud this quarter again, but Taobao and Tmall did exceptionally well, and as this segment goes, the rest of the company's operations go. And so the fact that Taobao and Tmall was up 12% year over year last quarter was very fantastic, because I am not expecting them to grow that fast at all. So overall revenue grew at 14%, and you had a more profitable business as the company continues to focus on profitability. So overall, what a fantastic quarter, but obviously none of that really got reflected in the share price. And then just looking at all of the news that came out subsequent to the quarter, you can see that only 2 pieces of company news came out. The one was Alibaba's CEO stepped down. I think he's still with the company, but just managing a fund on their behalf, it sounds like. But yeah, their CEO has stepped down. And Alibaba provided a little bit more information about Sinyao and the spinoff of it. And I just explained that to you previously, where they're going to continue to hold 50% or more of the entity, which is what we were all looking for. And so I think when they originally announced that they were going to spin off Sinyao, I think a lot of people were asking, how do you spin off Sinyao or how do you spin it off from Tmall or Taobao and Tmall, or like the China Commerce Group in general? It just didn't make sense. And so at least now that they've provided a little bit more disclosure, you can rest easy on that piece itself. The other area that's going to be challenging is how do you spin off the international business, because that's really connected with Sinyao as well. And so I hope they provide a little bit more information there. Now, in terms of a look through into the quarter, you can see that China's retail sales actually climbed by 5.5% year over year in September of 2023. And really what that reflects is an acceleration, because a year over year last month was 4.6%. So, I mean, they're exceeding market estimates. And so I actually think that you have room here for exceptional results this coming quarter as well. And so we'll see. But I actually believe that the Taobao Tmall group will outperform once again. Will they go up double digits in the 12%? I'm not really sure. But, I believe that they will be in the high singles? Absolutely. I think they're going to be in that range. And so once again, it surpasses what my estimates are. I'm focusing on them growing revenues, or I'm forecasting them growing revenues around 7-8%, somewhere around there. Do they meet that this quarter? I think so. And as you can see, Alibaba is getting aggressive with their Singles Day promotion. Within an hour after pre-sale started, Taobao and Tmall Group recorded more than a 200% year-over-year increase in sales, or at least I believe that's what turnover means. Guys, let me know if I'm misinterpreting that. And that's recent news. And so it just seems like when it comes to competition in China, Alibaba has the ability to still compete at the highest levels. And so you're seeing that already. I mean, this is just a short read through. We'll see if this actually plays into the overall results. But of course, just FYI, Singles Day will be caught in the subsequent quarter. This is not going to get caught in the September quarter end. But the point that I want to make is that they're continuing. It seems like they're continuing with the progression of the strength in the year. And so overall, do I think that the year will end up with revenues overall revenues growing at 10% or more? I think so. Will they be able to maintain the profitability? I also think so. And so I'm looking for reasons to suggest that the results may not necessarily come in line with expectations, but I'm not seeing anything just yet. I really think that this year is expected to be a good year for Alibaba, and I think the market will probably reward them with their share price increasing at least to the $100 per share level. I might be wrong, absolutely, but like I always say, do your own due diligence and diversify accordingly. And on the cloud front, it looks like Alibaba continues to innovate. They just launched their latest version of their AI model as they're looking to compete with Amazon and Microsoft. And so what this AI model does is it allows companies to build their own generative AI applications using their own data. So that's pretty cool. And it might actually be a slightly different direction than what the industry is going towards, because now you're just sort of allowing the whole industry to use this platform and create whatever they want to suit their own personal needs. Now, I'm not a huge expert in generative AI. I use it, absolutely, but I'm not, I don't really know which direction the industry is going with this. If I was a betting man, I would say that AI being embedded in commerce will probably impact client or customer facing parts of the business first and then come into the back end later on. And so that's the direction that I think this is going. But it's very exciting to see this happen, especially for someone who's not a super expert in this space. But I want you guys to let me know what you think the next generation for AI will be. But overall, I think Alibaba's results are going to be pleasantly surprising. I do feel as though eventually the share price should reflect the strength of the business as it continues to grow. Otherwise, it just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper. And if it continues to get cheaper and cheaper, obviously it becomes more and more of a value. And so, there might be some additional capital that gets allocated to this particular name, but we'll see and see how it all plays out. And so let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that Alibaba is expected to have a strong quarter, or do you think things pull back from here? Let me know. I'll answer to everyone in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.